So he says, there's a name I just can't get out of my head. Datson, CEO of Drug Court, the main man. Me trying so hard when I was in drug court working, and he had 2 jobs at that time. And Datson straight told me, you come here and have sex with Ashley. And that was Datson's wife at the time. He's a much younger woman than him, and he bought her breast implants and took her to the Playboy Mansion, and she is not, in my opinion, she's not a victim. She is a perpetrator, just as bad as Daniel Datson. Okay. And not just because of this victim. There's way too many out there. I've already talked to too many that have been involved in this situation. So it's not just one person that this happened to. There's several of them. Okay. But you come here and have sex with Ashley, and said he had heard I had been out past curfew. And if I wanted to be successful in drug court, then I had to have sex with Ashley when he watched and pleasured himself. That's what everybody says. He would even touch this man, allegedly. It got to where they would get drunk in Pikeville, Hazard, wherever they were out partying. And you can look at a lot of them's Facebook pages. You can look at a lot of these people's social media and look back around that time. And it's like they were party people. Like, how many of these people are at bars? You know, they go to these big fancy hotels. Just because it's a big fancy hotel bar doesn't mean it's any less a bar. Okay. And he had to leave at 11 o'clock at night, past curfew, not supposed to be out of the county, but yet he's being told to leave his house, go out of the county where he's not allowed to be, after curfew where he's not allowed to do, and go to these places to meet them. And he says, I walk in and they're all over me. And at that point, I was done. I didn't want to go back to jail. I don't blame him. But his looks, because he's such a good looking guy, it kept him out of jail. You know, that's girls too. Some of these girls were really pretty. Doesn't do you a whole lot of good. Like, just because somebody's a good looking person, it might get them the get out of jail free card, but that's all it does. It sure don't make the drug court go away. Like, if they really liked me, if I really had to get out of jail free card, they'd dismiss all my charges, right? They'd let me go free, right? No. But see, that's part of that grooming process. That's part of the grooming. That's part of, you know, them, it's part of it. Let's see. They give him booze as soon as he goes in because it makes him, you know, not, makes him accept the situation. Man. I can't wait for this interview. That's just a little taste. We're just giving y'all a little taste of what's coming. It's unbelievable. It's absolutely just unbelievable. You know, Daniel was also Marty Baker's lawyer. Marty Baker is the one that she married. Like, her and Daniel get divorced and she marries Marty Baker. Well, Marty Baker has got domestic violence charges against him. He's the one that beat up that Puckett boy, and he didn't just beat him up. Like, his face looked normal, but by the time Baker got done with him, it was like out to here. And if I'm not mistaken, they had to like life flight him to Lexington. He was hurt so bad. I don't know if they either took him in an ambulance or if they flew him, but I'm pretty sure he had to be taken to Lexington either way, whether he was taken in an ambulance or whether he was flown. Either way, it was still, just unbelievable. I'm going to kind of jump around a little bit tonight because, well, let's finish this thing.
Afraid to say no or lose their cases or even children in battles with Child Protective Services.
You just go see him. Just go to his chambers.
As an inmate?
Whenever, as an inmate, when you're in jail, they would bring you up. They bring you up to the chambers from jail.
And so who was bringing her up? Who was bringing these girls up from the jail? Would that have been the jail employees? Would that be the court security? Would that have been Ben Fields? Would that have been Angie Fields? Would that have been, you tell me, would it have been this Clarence Bryant, this little skinny redheaded kid who went to school with us? But this is how this is how people are traitors, right? So this little boy goes to our school, is taught by our professor, and our professor reaches out to the jail and talks to the jailer and gets him the job, gets this Bryant boy his job. Then the boy starts working at the jail, and then he unfriends our professor on Facebook because our professor decides to run for jailer. So he unfriends him. Talk about loyalty. Talk about respect. Yeah. Same little boy who wrecked his brand new Harley he got last night with no motorcycle license.
What would happen?
Sex, drugs.
For reference, the Letcher County Jail is located on the bottom floor of the courthouse. And Adam says that she and other inmates would often be brought into various rooms of the courthouse after hours for those alleged sexual encounters.
It varied. Sometimes it'd just be you. Sometimes it'd be a couple more.
In an email, the Kentucky Administrative Office of the Courts says the AOC has no record of receiving information suggesting misconduct by Judge Mullins. And it went on to say the only allegations reported to the AOC involving Judge Mullins' chambers were made by the judge regarding a federal lawsuit filed about non-judicial staff engaging in sexual acts in his office.
Now, let me stop. How many people do you know or do you think even knew to make a complaint to the AOC? Do you think that there's ever been anybody that knew where to go? I can tell you that there have been lots of people who say that they have made complaints on the FBI. I've called it myself, so I know what it is. It's like an answering machine. It's like a voicemail. So when you call, it tells you what to do, and then you can leave a voicemail. So several people have told me that they've done that. There have been, I think, if we look back at the interviews from Ben Fields' investigation, his criminal investigation, The Attorney General's office said that there were reports that were sent in by like Edison Banks, this and that. Or maybe that's not what it said. Maybe it wasn't that there were any reports. I think it was actually when Matt Easter came to interview all these people, every person that he spoke to, Edison Banks, Michael Watts, there was a few people that he spoke to. I'm trying to think of who all it was. Maybe Jamie Hatton.